what we're going to be making. And looking inside here, see the string coming through here. I am just 3D printing some of these little pieces right now, so I can't show you how to set that up, but if I pull on this, you can see this steel wool moves back up and down, and that's the displacer. When it's at the top, the air moves to the bottom. When it's at the bottom, the air moves to the top. Here's one that I just made that's covered up, but the displacer is down inside there, and it's covered up with the rubber band, or the balloon. You can see the displacer now, right there. First, get about a foot of this braided fishing line. It's nice and tough and thin. Try to cut it off with as little fraying as you can on the end. Don't lose it. Get, I guess, maybe about a foot of wire. 10 inches is probably enough, but use the needle nose pliers to cut it. You could probably cut it with scissors, but I think it's going to mess up our scissors. And last time I used 2 of these. These are the little pieces of steel wool. I think I should have used either 1 or 1.5 because the displacer I just made felt kind of heavy. So if you look in here, see where there's some metal there. That's aluminum foil. Instead of tying it, I'm just going to use aluminum foil, and then there's a wire inside there. Let me pull this out. It's kind of sooty. I don't want to touch it too much. You can see it's hot on the bottom. And the attachment point is over here kind of on the side because the hole's on the side. Alright, first step is to make a loop in this, so I'm going to bend over the end of the wire and with some pliers squeeze here, this, and then just twist. Right. Then unroll one of these. I'm going to see how this works with just one of these rolls. It'll be lighter. I think it'll probably displace the air just as well. So I'm going to put this in here like this, and then I'm going to start to roll the steel wool around it. And let's see. Now, after I roll it a time or two, I'm going to bend this back up, okay, kind of like that, and roll a little more, and then bend this back down, and roll a little more. And now I want to try to, and you know, this is sort of, let's see, got a little extra sticking out there, so I'll cut that off. If it doesn't work out, just do it all over again. I want this to be as fat as the can, and I want it to be about half the height of the can. And I don't know if it's there. Oh, by the way, the can, I need a new can for this. Let's take this one, corn can. I've pre-cut a little hole right there in the side. See how this looks. That doesn't look very good. It looks like it needs to be a little longer. So I'm going to take a little bit of this other one, unwrap it, and tear some off. You know, you can also cut it with scissors. And I'm going to spread it out. It kind of sticks. Hopefully this will stick, because if it doesn't, there's going to be nothing holding it up, making it go up and down. I'm just forming it, maybe compressing it a little bit more. It needs to slide freely. But like I said, it needs to be about half the height of this can and about the width of the can. Because when it goes up and down, I want all the air, or most of the air in the can, to be going up and down. Okay, so now I'm going to hook the, what I want is this to be over at the edge. And since my hole is not exactly in the top, I want this to be maybe right here, not way up at the top of this. And I need to attach the braided fishing line. To do that, I'm just going to rip a piece of aluminum foil. This is maybe 2 inches or 2.5 inches by an inch. And there's no perfect way to do this. At least I haven't come up with a perfect way yet. I'm going to stick that through the loop. Actually, let's do this. I'll put this through here, and I'll put that through there. And then I'm going to wind the fishing line. Probably easier if I wind it around like this. I'll just wrap it around the aluminum foil for a couple of turns and then wad the aluminum foil on there. Like I said, there's no perfect way to do it. It's not how you'd want to tie your fishing lures on, but much easier than tying a knot. And a lot of my students can't tie knots. So see, I bent that down a little bit. I want that to be right over on the side. Might bend it over a little bit more. All right, that looks pretty good. Next step, got some needles here. I have a thinner one and a thicker one. Use the thinnest one you can. I'm skipping a step though. This hole, that's where the string needs to come out. This hole is a little big, and we want it to be as small as possible because air can leak out when this thing gets pressurized, and we want as little air as possible leaking. So by the time you get to this point, we will have hopefully cleaned up your can better. We'll get rid of all this paper because it's going to catch on fire. I'll put a piece of tape there. I might even put a piece of tape on the inside. I don't know if it'll survive there very long. I haven't washed out the inside of the can. All right, maybe another piece of tape. Top of the can doesn't get very hot if everything goes right. All right, now to the needle. Doing the thin one. Hope I got a nice cut or nice non-frayed end on this. I've used this needle before just a little while ago and it worked. Part of the issue may be that I'm getting old. Can't see very well. But I got that through. I'm sticking this through the back side of the hole and pulling that through. Pull the free end of the string out. And there we go. So at some point I'll show you how I did this. This is a little plastic doohickey that I 3D printed that prevents us from having to tie a loop on the end of the string, and we can hook a piece of wire right to this hole right here. But for now, we can move on to testing. So I've taken a balloon and I've cut the neck off. You can imagine this part you blow in's over here. Just cut it off. And I'm going to put that over the top, and I don't want to be so far down that I cover over the string. But again, this is just kind of a test to see if the displacer does its job. I'm going to go around the side and kind of roll that up and tighten this up just a little bit so it's not too loose looking. And let's see. Yep, it's going up and down in there, just testing to see if this works. You can I put some silicone on this, some silicone lubricant, and that seems like it might help the string move up and down. All right, so now my testing apparatus set up. Ooh, weird things are going to happen on that screen. And need a screwdriver. This is where the displacer and can are going to go eventually. But for now, it's just a stand so that when I put a fire under it, I don't have to hold it. You know, I probably could. In fact, let me just try it the bad way first. There's an alcohol burner. Forgot my lighter. All right. Let's just see how this goes. So, put this over the heat. Keep my hands away. And the displacer's at the bottom right now. So what I should see, it's happening a little bit. When I pull the displacer to the top, the air goes to the bottom and expands. When I send the displacer to the bottom, the air moves to the top and contracts. So it sort of looks like I'm pulling the top up, but I'm not. That's just the air expanding. Okay, now the air goes to the top and cools off. The air goes to the bottom and heats up. Goes to the top and cools off. So it's working. This is the first step. One of the next steps is going to be to put this in here, and we're going to mount a flywheel across there, and or actually flywheel is going to go over here. We're going to have a crankshaft there, and a lot of other moving parts. But this is basically the powerhouse of the thing. Need to be careful not to set this down on anything too important for a little while. It'll cool pretty fast. That's it. Write your names on this with a Sharpie, and we can store it away. We might, for today, be sharing balloons.